Alright, part 4. This will be the final one of the prologue. So, here we go. No time for pain, no time for pain, no time for pain! He blinked, shaking his head, the world blurry and dark. Was he blind? No, it was dark outside. He was on the wooden balcony. The force of the blow had thrown him through the doors. Something was thumping. Heavy footfalls. The shard-bearer! Szeth stumbled to his feet, vision swimming. Blood streamed from the side of his face, and stormlight rose from his skin, blinding his left eye. The light. It would heal him if it could. His jaw felt unhinged. Broken? He'd dropped his shard blade. A lumbering shadow moved in front of him. The shard-bearer's armor had leaked enough stormlight that the king was having trouble walking. But he was coming. Szeth screamed, kneeling and fusing stormlight into the wooden balcony, lashing it downward. The air frosted around him. The tempest roared, traveling down his arms into the wood. He lashed it downward, then did it again. He lashed a fourth time as Gavlar stepped onto the balcony. It lurched under the extra weight. The wood cracked, straining. The shard-bearer hesitated. Szeth lashed the balcony downward a fifth time. The balcony's supports shattered and the entire structure broke free from the building. Szeth screamed through a broken jaw and used his final bit of stormlight to lash himself to the side of the building. He fell to the side, passing the shocked shard-bearer, then hit the wall and rolled. The balcony dropped away, the king looking up with shock as he lost his footing. The fall was brief. In the moonlight, Szeth watched solemnly. Vision still fuzzy, blinded in one eye. As the structure crashed to the stone ground below, the wall of the palace trembled, and the crash of broken wood echoed from the nearby buildings. Still standing on the side of the wall, Szeth groaned, climbing to his feet. He felt weak. He'd used up his stormlight too quickly, straining his body. He stumbled down the side of the building, approaching the wreckage, barely able to remain standing. The king was still moving. Shardplate would protect a man from such a fall, but a large length of bloodied wood stuck up through Gavlar's side, piercing him where Szeth had broken the plate earlier. Szeth knelt down, inspecting the man's pain-racked face. Strong features, square chin, black beard flecked with white, striking pale green eyes. Gavlar Kholin. I expected you to come, the king said between gasps. Szeth reached underneath the front of the man's breastplate, tapping the straps there. They unfastened, and he pulled the front of the breastplate free, exposing the gemstones on its interior. 2 had been cracked and burned out. 3 still glowed. Numb, Szeth breathed in sharply, absorbing the light. The storm began to rage again. More light rose from the side of his face, repairing his damaged skin and bones. The pain was still great. Stormlight healing was far from instantaneous. It would be hours before he recovered. The king coughed. You can tell, Tidakar, that he's too late. I don't know who that is, Szeth said, standing, his words slurring from his broken jaw. He held his hand to the side, resummoning his shard blade. The king frowned. Then who? Restares? Setius? I never thought... My masters are the Parshendi, Szeth said. 10 heartbeats passed and his blade dropped into his hand, wet with condensation. The Parshendi? That makes no sense. Gavlar coughed, hand quivering, reaching toward his chest and fumbling at his pocket. He pulled out a small crystalline sphere tied to a chain. You must take this. They must not get it. He seemed dazed. Tell my brother. He must find the most important words a man can say. Gavlar fell still. Szeth hesitated, then knelt down and took the sphere. It was odd, unlike any he'd seen before. Though it was completely dark, it seemed to glow somehow, with a light that was black. The Parshendi, Kevlar had said. That makes no sense. Nothing makes sense anymore, Zeth whispered, tucking the strange sphere away. It's all unraveling. I'm sorry, King of Alethi. I doubt that you care. Not anymore, at least. He stood up. At least you won't have to watch the world ending with the rest of us. Beside the king's body, his shard blade materialized from mist, clattering to the stones now that its master was dead. It was worth a fortune. Kingdoms had fallen as men vied to possess a single shard blade. Shouts of alarm came from inside the palace. Zeth needed to go. But tell my brother. To Zeth's people, the dying request was sacred. He took the king's hand, dipping it in the man's own blood, then used it to scrawl on the wood. Brother, you must find the most important words a man can say. With that, Zeth escaped into the night. He left the king's shard blade. He had no use for it. The blade Zeth already carried was curse enough. Alright, and there we are. That is the prologue of The Way of Kings. Yeah, we're not actually even into the chapters yet, but we're about to be. Next up is going to be part 1, Above Silence. And the two characters that it focuses on will be Kaladin and Shallan. Yeah, it's definitely, things start to get pretty crazy from here. Obviously that was already pretty crazy, but now we start meeting the main characters and it focuses on them a lot. Well, you'll all see. It's very good. So, next week I'll put up another one. This next chapter looks to be very large, so I don't know how I'm actually going to do this. Because this one, I mean... Wait a minute. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. No, it's about as long as the prologue, so it'll probably be about that many videos. It's a little bit longer, maybe. 1 page, 2. No, it's about the same. So, it'll be about the size of the prologue. And, I'll have that up next week for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, feedback, comments, please, I would love them. I realize this is a lot to listen to, but audiobooks, they do take a while, so it's how it's going to have to be, I suppose. So, I hope you all really did enjoy it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you could. Like I said, feedback, comments, Facebook under Eric Silva Voice Acting. Like that page if you could. I'll post any updates on there. So updates, videos, everything will be posted on that Facebook page, Eric Silva Voice Acting. And, yeah, so that's going to be that. So I will be back next week with part 1, chapter 1, Stormblessed. Thank you very much, and hope you continue to listen. Bye.